cannot stop yawning, and it is like not even 5 o'clock yet. This does not bode well for me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here to show you my February favorites. So February wasn't really a very exciting month in terms of new beauty for me. I did haul a bunch of stuff at the end of January, and I'm still trying a lot of things out, so there are a few things that I still kind of haven't made up my mind about yet, so I don't really want to share them in a favorites video until I'm like 100% sure that I love them and want to recommend them to you. But yeah, I've kind of been using the same skincare products that I was using in January. I kind of found a happy routine for my skin, so definitely I would recommend watching my January favorites because pretty much everything from that month is still my favorite this month. But I do have some fun makeup bits to share with you and a few other things, so without me rambling on forever, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this Makeup Revolution blush palette. And I actually wrote a full review on this palette, so I will link it down below for you in case you'd like to check it out and see swatches. But basically, I picked this up from Ulta. They were having a buy one get one 50% off sale on all of their Makeup Revolution products, so I'd always wanted to try the brand. They're from the UK, so Ulta, I think, is the only place you can buy their products from in store here in the United States. Otherwise, they do ship internationally, so you can buy from the Makeup Revolution website anywhere in the world if you would like to. You just have to pay for shipping, which is kind of expensive, so I'm just gonna go to Ulta. But anyway, so this is the Hot Spice palette. There are two different shade options, and this one is my personal favorite. And this is what it looks like. And the colors in this are just beautiful, and there are like a nice range of sort of like coppery shades and peaches and pinks, and it's all very warm toned, which for me, I have kind of more yellow undertone to my skin. These colors I think work wonderfully for me, so if you have a similar skin tone, I think you would really like this palette. But yeah, it is $10, and this is just like, first of all, it's a really nice size, but it's very sleek and thin. The packaging is gorgeous. The plastic is like nice and weighty. It doesn't feel cheap, and the detailing on it is rose gold, which is like my favorite. And you also get, so you get 8 different colors in here, and you get a really nice sized mirror, and it's just for $10. I mean, you seriously cannot beat this palette. The blushes are all very nicely pigmented. They're very easy to blend, and that's actually what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I'll show you which one, if I can get the palette back open. So I am wearing this shade here on my face today, and I think it's just a really beautiful blush palette, and I think for 10 bucks you really can't do any better. So another product I've really been loving lately have been the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. And I picked these up actually, I think in the summertime, so these may or may not have been included in a favorites of mine last year at some point, but I really have been using them a lot more recently, and I'm just so happy as per late that I have these. Basically, what the Custom Cover Drops are is, it is a foundation, but it is meant to be mixed into other products rather than worn on its own. So you can mix it into a moisturizer, into a primer, you can mix it into another foundation, and it basically will add coverage for you, or you can also adjust the color. So I have the shade G30, and the reason I've been loving this so much lately is that a lot of drugstore foundations tend to be very pink in undertone, especially in the lighter shades, and I feel like there's not as great of a variety in terms of like different like depths of shades among lighter shades in the drugstore. I don't know if that made any sense. Anyway, basically there'll be like a shade 101 porcelain, and then the shade like 102 will be super pink, and then like 103 will be way too dark for me, and it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do? And even if I really love the way that the foundation looks in terms of finish, if I get the lightest shade, it ends up not really totally matching my skin tone. So what I've been able to do is mix in a little bit of these custom cover drops to my foundation, because the G30 has a much more yellow undertone, and on its own this would actually be more of like my summer color. It's a little bit too dark for me now that it's winter, but if I mix it into a foundation that's a little bit too light, it basically makes it the perfect shade for me. So I feel like this is a kind of product that one bottle lasts a really long time, and you can basically, you know, if you have a favorite foundation, you can make it work for you the whole year round, depending on, you know, even if your skin tone changes, because you can use the custom cover drops to kind of like mix things up or adjust the shade of the foundation as the color of your skin changes throughout the year. So yeah, definitely, these are a little bit pricey. They're like $44. It's not a cheap product, definitely, but you only need a couple drops every time you use it. So like I said, one bottle will last you quite a long time, and it's just a really innovative and interesting product, and I definitely think if you have the money to splurge, it's worth checking out. Another face favorite of mine from this month is something that I picked up in my drugstore haul from last month, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder. I use the shade 120 Classic Ivory, which is the same color that I am in the Matte and Poreless foundation. And I really like this powder. I'm not a huge pressed powder person normally, but lately I have been using it more because I've been using more dewy foundations, and my skin in the winter is more combination. In the summer I'm like really oily. So in the winter I can get away with wearing foundations that are a little bit more moisturizing because some of like my super matte foundations make like my cheeks look a little too dry. But I do need something to kind of mattify my T-zone because that part of me will never not be oily. So this powder has actually been really great. It mattifies your skin, but it's not cakey and it doesn't make it look flat. So I'll just dust a little bit of this on, and it gives my skin like a really nice satiny finish. It is not the most insanely oil controlling powder I've ever used. Like if I'm wearing a really creamy foundation, I probably will have to touch this up after like 4 or 5 hours, but I also have like the most crazy oily skin, and I suppose if I was using this with a very matte foundation, it probably would last longer. So I know part of it is also how I'm using it, but still, either way, really nice, not cakey, super affordable. And if you're in the market for a pressed powder and you have oily to combination skin, I would definitely recommend checking this out. All right, so let's go back to blush for a hot second. This is something from Becca that I've had for a while. I think I got it last spring, so I guess I'm kind of rounding, like it's almost probably been a year since I got this, so I don't know how long I should keep using it. But it seems fine to me, so whatevs. Anyway, this is the Becca Beach Tint Shimmer Soufflé in the shade Watermelon Opal. And it is basically the most gorgeous, creamy, moussey textured blush like in the history of the universe. First of all, it smells like watermelons, so that's pretty awesome. And it basically is a like creamy, corally blush that has the opal Becca highlighter swirled into it. So it gives you this like beautiful luminous look to your cheeks, but it's not overly glittery. And really what I'll just do is I'll just tap this on with my fingers and sort of blend it in, and it gives you like a really natural flush. It's so pretty, and it's really quite long wearing actually. I mean, it's not like a cheek stain that's gonna sit and be perfect for like 15 hours, but it definitely gets me through my workday all right and looks pretty good by the time that I get home. So, you know, I think that this kind of product is gonna be super amazing for spring and summer. Like this is a very springy, summery color. I think I'm just in like this mindset lately that I'm so done with winter that I'm like, all right, spring, let's get here. So basically everything I've been putting on my face has been very springy in nature in the last like week or two. I don't know, I'm like channeling those vibes. So speaking of spring, this next product is something that I know I'm going to be loving and wearing well into May and June, and that is the new Burt's Bees lipstick in the shade Sunset Cruise. I have been wearing this lipstick a ton in the last couple of weeks, and it is basically a super beautiful peachy, pinky, corally type color, and it's actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. And these lipsticks are, they're just really, really nice. They're very creamy, they're very moisturizing. and the color is buildable. It's strange because the way that this lipstick is formulated, it's the color is not like super saturated into the lipstick. Like if you put it on lightly, you can still see your lip through the product, but like you can build it up, and it's not like it's sheer or like a lip balm where you're not gonna get like intense pigmentation. I don't know how to describe it. It's like semi-opaque. I don't know, but it's beautiful and it feels really nice. It lasts pretty decently. I mean, it's not like a liquid lipstick or a matte lipstick that's going to stay on your lips for like 12 hours, but you'll definitely get a couple of hours of wear out of these lipsticks, and they don't wear off like all weird and patchy, so even if it does start to fade, it usually still looks pretty nice and you can reapply it really easily. So yeah, I only have one other shade of this lipstick right now, and it is in a very like bold berry color. I think it's called Burning Berry actually, which is much more fall, so I like that color, but I think I'm just in that mood of like wanting to wear my pinks and corals and nudes and lighten everything up a little bit, so I haven't been wearing that one as much. But this, I cannot get enough of this. So let's talk brows for a hot second. I just almost threw my brow gel like across the room. That was good. I've been having like a moment with brows in the last like couple of months really. I've been trying out a lot of new brow products because I feel like if your eyebrows don't look good, it really just throws off your whole face worth of makeup. So I've been testing and trying things to kind of find like the best brow products to give me the look that I want and that work for my eyebrows, which are generally kind of more sparse-ish and a little wonky, so they definitely are not the easiest eyebrows in the world to deal with. Anyway, so there are two brow products that I have been really loving in the last month. The first one is this NYX Brow Gel, and this is in the shade Brunette. And this is not a brow product for the faint of heart. This will give you very bold, well-defined brows. This is like your Instagram-worthy brows here. Now, I haven't used like a brow pomade or like a true product like this before, but I have a feeling that this would be very similar to like the ones that come in the pots because it's a very thick, creamy consistency. It's almost like the consistency of a gel eyeliner, but it's a little bit less pigmented. And basically you put this on with like a brow brush and you just use it to fill in your brows, and this stuff, like, it will stay on like freaking super glue on your eyebrows. Like, it doesn't dry them down like hard or crusty or anything like that, but it will fill your brows in like hardcore. Like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. But if you want like the look of a bold brow and you like having the control of using like a nice precise brush, you can get like the most perfectly sculpted looking eyebrows with this product. And it is super affordable because it's NYX, so it was like $5 maybe, somewhere between $4 and $6. So, and you get a ton of product in this tube because you need like the tiniest little dab to do both of your eyebrows. I think I might do like a full blog post review of this, or maybe some of the brow products I've been trying lately, so you guys can see a little bit more of how they look. But yeah, basically if you want something like this is waterproof, it is smudge proof, if you want your brows to be like on, I would definitely give this a try. And the other brow product that I have been loving this month is like on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. This is the LOreal Brow Stylist Definer. And if there was ever a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz, this is it right here. This is the most amazing little pencil. It's a new launch from L'Oreal. I think it came out at the beginning of the year. And just like the Brow Wiz, you have your, tiny little super fine pointed brow pencil on one side, and then you have your spoolie on the other. And this just fills in my eyebrows so perfectly. Honestly, I may even like this better than the Brow Wiz, and that is saying something. So you get super precise control because the nib on the pencil is like itty bitty, but it's not it's like the perfect texture. It's not too creamy, it's not too tough, so it's very easy to create very natural looking strokes and to fill your eyebrows in and have it look just incredibly soft and incredibly natural and very even and nice. It's what I'm used on my eyebrows today, so if they look nice, this would be why. But yeah, this is so much more affordable than the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and it works basically the exact same way. The only downside I would say about this compared to Anastasia is that this comes in like 3 colors and Anastasia comes in like 10 or something. I mean, she is like the brow guru, so there is a brow pencil for every hair color one could possibly imagine. Whereas this, you're gonna have a lot more limitation because it's drugstore. The dark brown one works really well for me, but I have very dark hair and very dark eyebrows, so it looks very natural on me. But if you have a more warm color to your hair or you're a lighter brown, the dark brown definitely would probably be too dark for you. So I don't know how great the other color options are. If you've used them, definitely like post in the comments down below. I'd be curious to hear how it's worked out for you. So that is all the makeup that I have to share. I just have a few other random bits and bobs that I wanted to tell you guys about. This first little extra thing is a hair product. I feel like I never talk about hair products. I'm like the worst. I'm so lazy when it comes to doing my hair, honestly. Like, I can't even lie about it. My hair is naturally really freaking straight and fine. So generally I try to use products that give it like a little oomph or a little life, which is exactly what this is. This is the new L'Oreal Boosted Air Blown Texture Mist. I got it in the Target beauty box that I bought, I think maybe like the beginning of the month. They had one for sale. So this was in it, and this is a really nice, I don't know if this is full-sized. It may be full-sized. It definitely looks too big to be a sample. But yeah, I really have been enjoying using this product. I basically just spritz it all along my roots when my hair is towel dried, and then I blow dry it, and it just gives my hair a little bit of extra movement, but it doesn't make it stiff, it doesn't make it sticky, and yeah, and it smells amazing. It is like very sort of fruity smelling. But yeah, it says it's supposed to have buildable body, it's supposed to be weightless, and it has like stronghold, number 3 out of 5, which I would agree with. Like, this is like, it makes a difference, but like it really does not, you don't feel it in your hair. It doesn't make it feel gross, which I am definitely all for, because I do not like the feeling of like, if a hair product makes you like feel like you can't run your fingers through your hair, like it's just, I'm not into that. So if you want an affordable volumizing spray, check this out. So I feel like I don't talk nearly enough about fragrance on my channel, and it's not because I don't like wearing perfume, because I totally do. I just am all over the place with my fragrances. I have a few full-size bottles that I rotate through, but I have a ton of samples and like little minis, things that are sent to me in boxes to try, free samples that I get when I go shopping places, and I have like perfume overload, I think is my problem. So I very rarely like stick to one fragrance. I feel like I'm always trying different things, and I like a lot of stuff, but I feel like not a lot of scents really jump out to me and make me be like, I need to wear this. But this is one of those fragrances that I was like, I need to wear this. Tiny little bit. Anyway, this is the 0.2 Meet Your Destiny perfume, and it was sampled in my Burt box in January, and I just love the way this smells on me. And scent is so personal, so what I like may totally not either smell good on you or be appealing to you at all, but I thought this was just so freaking lovely. I needed to own it, so I went out and bought the travel sized spray. And actually, I really like, just as a side note, this is an actual travel spray. It's not a roller ball, and I much prefer the sprays over the roller ball. I just think, I like just sort of like the whole spritzing it on and kind of getting it on your clothes, and sort of like the scent sort of just like surrounds you versus just putting it on your pulse points. But you know, if something only comes in a roller ball and I don't want to buy the full size, I think getting the smaller versions is just more practical. The other thing too, like even though I totally love this. I also know myself that I didn't want to spend $90 on a full-size bottle of perfume if I end up having like perfume ADD and just get distracted by something else and then stop using this in a month, which hopefully I won't because I think it's lovely and I really like the way it smells on me, but let's be serious, you never know. So anyway, this perfume is very warm and it's like, it's not overly feminine, it's not too sweet, it just, I'm wearing it right now, it just smells so like sexy but casual. It's like a perfect t-shirt and jeans Saturday afternoon snuggly fragrance. I don't know, maybe that makes no sense. Let me tell you what the actual notes of this are because I pulled it up on my computer. It says the top notes are bergamot and spearmint, middle notes of neroli and orange blossom, and base notes of sheer musk accord, Tunisian amber, white amber, oak moss, and French vanilla. So like the spearmint notes, I feel like after this settles into your skin, you get more of the musk and the amber and the vanilla. But when you first apply it, I feel like you get a little bit more of that, like, has a slightly minty, slightly citrusy sort of vibe to it. It's just really unique, really interesting fragrance. I had never heard of this brand before. I tried it in my Burt box and I just really, really like it. So if you like those sort of like warm, cozy fragrances, if you have a chance to find this somewhere and smell it, I definitely would recommend doing that because it is lovely. And my very last favorite is not a beauty product at all. It is tea. I love my tea. I have a slight tea obsession. Anyone I work with will know that I drink it like all day, every day. And my obsession as per late has been DavidsTea. One opened up in the mall that's near where I live, and that's basically been like the only tea I want to drink all the freaking time. It is just so good, and they have so many amazing blends. If you've never been to DavidsTea or ordered from DavidsTea, you need to check them out if you're a tea person because they're awesome. But anyway, I went to the store a few weeks back because they were running a promotion around Valentine's Day where if you spent $35, you got 2 ounces of free tea. So I was like, I'm all about that. So this was not the tea I got free. This was just the tea that I bought, spent my $35. And it is the spiced apple, and it's a fruit infusion. And I don't know if you can see inside of this tin, but there's just basically giant pieces of fruit and cardamom and cloves and other spices. And well, this is like a very fall tea. It's funny, like all my makeup, I'm like, give me spring, give me pink, give me corals. But when it comes to tea, fall flavors always have my heart. Like I just love those cozy, spicy, warm flavors, and I cannot get enough of them. So apparently I think this was a fall tea, but they made it part of their permanent collection because it was so popular. But it is freaking delicious. Let me just tell you what's in this. It's apple, figs, cinnamon, star anise, chicory, cardamom, cloves, black pepper, and natural flavorings. It is delicious. It's naturally very sweet. Like you don't even need to add any sugar to this, and it is like dessert in a cup. So if you like those sort of like cinnamony, spicy type teas, it's almost like if tea and apple cider had a baby, that's what this would be. It's just delicious. So like I said, check out DavidsTea. They have a ton of different options for you to try. If that doesn't sound like it's your cup of tea, there are many, many other different flavors to try, and I would highly recommend checking them out. And that is it. That is all of my stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and for listening to me ramble about all of the beauty products that I've been loving. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate your support. And subscribe if you're new and you haven't already, so that way you can see my smiling face whenever it uploads new videos. I hope you guys are having an awesome rest of your night, rest of your week. I personally, right now, I'm heading out to a party to go watch the Oscars, and it is going to be a PJ and champagne party. So yeah, drinking champagne in our PJs, watching the Oscars. Can't really get much better than that in life. But anyway, thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.